Alright, so welcome to Chaka Contics. Now in this tutorial I'll be putting us through how to prepare a construction budget. Alright, as professionals we know what a budget is. A budget basically is a planned estimate, right, for expenditures on a particular project. Planned estimate for or on expenditures on a particular project, as simply put, right? Just intuitively thinking about it, that is what a budget is. All right, okay. In preparing a budget, basically I'll tell you that you need how many things? Just things. One, you need your cost bill of quantity. Majorly your cost bill of quantity. Why did I say cost bill of quantity? A bill of quantity can be of two types. You have the cost and you have the price. The cost is your bill of quantity without markup. Now after you marked it up, it's called a priced bill of quantity or a selling bill of quantity, because that is what you're going to give out to the client while you hold your own cost. Right, so you're having two bill of quantity. You're giving one to the client, you retain your own part, both copy of both the cost and then the selling. All right, now in preparation of your budget, you need your cost bill of quantity. Also, a budget has different parts. You have the preliminaries part, you have then you have the civil works, you have the specialist works, and then you have the labor items. You have the preliminaries. I've explained preliminaries before on one of our videos, how to price preliminary items. I will not be talking about it in this video. Kindly do well, go to the channel, search for how to prepare preliminaries. You see our video will pop up on Chaka Context. You can go through it and learn how to prepare preliminary items. I'm not discussing it here. And then your bill of quantity, you have civil works. Civil works are your general civil works, your concrete, your reinforcement, your excavation, your block work, your plastering, right, your tiling, right? These are civil works. Then you have specialist works. Specialist works are works that are being carried out by specialist subcontractors. Take for instance your aluminium works, take for instance your balustrades, take for instance your ceiling, take for instance your roof works, take for instance steel works. These are done by specialist contractors, so you reach them to come and do it for you and then you pay them. Now why do we separate them? It is because the kind of profit or profit margin you put on the general civil work, your concrete or your reinforcement or your form, it's not the same margin you are going to put on a specialist work, because the contractor giving you his quote already has his own profit and overhead on it. So if you go and put the same profit and overhead, you will blow it too high. You will no longer be competitive in that particular tender. So that is why you don't put that. If you're putting 30% profit and overhead on your general civil works, concrete, reinforcement, formwork and block, you will not put the same thing, 30%, on your specialist work. You put maybe 15%. Some even put 10% so that they can be very competitive, or 20%, as the case may be. So basically, these are what you need to prepare your budget. Now, your civil works, general civil work, and then your specialist work, and then your profit and labor is what we are dealing with here. Now, it comes in the form of material and labor for the general civil work. So whichever way you prepare your material and labor, right, and then you separate the specialist work, and then in the day you back comment everything, you add them up, then you take them to your summary. I just give you a picture perfect summary, how do I put it, of any construction budget. All right, let's look into it closely. Firstly, I have my bill of quantities. Of course, that's where you're going to pick your quantities from the bill of quantity. Here I can see I have from here I have three major bill of quantities. I have main building, I have ancillary building, I have gatehouse. It may not necessarily be so. For yours could just be only one building. Yours can be 2, can be 3, can be 4, it can be 5. Whatever it is, you are going to split them this way, right, for ease of reference and for anybody that wants to go through what you have done. All right, so if you see everything here, they are all attached to something. They are all attached to something. Another person will put here, would say, we'll put here quantity, right? Another person will put here quantity and say, okay, what is the quantity of what I am dealing with here? Now, the reason I didn't put it here is not to confuse anyone. It is not to confuse you. That is why you see I didn't delete everything I have here. You see main building, ancillary building, gatehouse. Good. Now let's come to this main building. Let me tell you why I didn't put this here. Now this is cement, sand, and granite. It is for blinding. I will take you there now. Now the volume is 23 cubic meter. If I put 23 cubic meter here, or I put it here, then the question is, why did we put this particular something here? Why not another place? Why not put it for 3 of them so that we'll know that? I don't know if you understand. That is why most times I don't put but if you put the quantity here, it doesn't mean you are wrong. Kunjiko, you will still be right. If I put 23 here, this ready mix, let's say it is 500, I put 500 here, or I link it, of course. All right, so not to make this video extremely too long, let me remove this so you can bring in your quantity so that everyone sees what the quantity is. All right, okay, so let's come over here. Main building, this is where the work is. Little now, if you see here, this is summary. This is the complete bill of quantity here. You can see. So I have summarized everything, especially the civil works. You see the specialist work are in green. See the civil works, I've added everything. This is block work, 230 mm. This is screen wall. This is lintel concrete. This is lintel formwork, lintel reinforcement. The same thing for everything. You see screed, staircase screed. You see staircase reinforcement. That's how you sum everything. You sum everything, and you bring everything to a general summary. Let me scroll from here. A general summary. This is what I have here. So this is the summary here. Where are you? Here. You see this? This is ready mixed concrete, grade 25. Grade 25. So it is not in one place. That is why you see it brings us to the first place. So I have summarized everything here, grade 25. You see the summation, this plus this plus this, grade 25. This is formwork for also for everything. This is the total reinforcement. This is total block work. This is screeding, 150, 225, 150, 100. So I summarized everything for ease of reference or for ease of transfer into my budget. Are you following? So you don't just go and be picking from the quantities. You need to have a summary, like a schedule of quantity summary. Right? A schedule of quantity, that's what I did here. This is a summary of everything. See wall plastering, this is total square meter, POP wall screed, total square meter, according to the bill of quantities. Kunjiko. Alright, let's go over to what we are working on. And the same thing for the ancillary building. The same thing for, this is summary for ancillary building. The same thing for the gatehouse. However, how many number of buildings you are working on, if you're preparing the budget, you have to prepare the schedule for all of them for ease of transfer into your budget. Very, very important. All right, let's come here. Now, this is in-situ concrete. This is concrete here. Now, in this bill of quantity, we have both in-situ concrete and then ready mixed concrete. In-situ concrete is the one you cast on site. We already know that. Ready mix is the one you buy. Obankaba. Yawa. Okay. All right. So this is what we have here. Now, if you come here, right, what is the quantity of the blinding? So this is blind. That's in situ here is blinding. If I come to the main building, you see here, this is 23 cubic meters, right? If I come to the ancillary building, it is 15 cubic meter. If I come to the gatehouse, it is 7 cubic meter, right? I have all of them presented here. This is main building. This is the ancillary building. This is the gatehouse. All right. Okay. Now I want to determine the quantity of cement, sand, and granite because that is what I will use to prepare that particular concrete. That is what I'm going to use to prepare that particular concrete. I hope we get it. All right, let's move ahead. This is going to take a little time, but just permit me to explain what I need to explain there. Now, this is blind, depending on the blinding you're using. If you're using 1:3:6 for your blending, it is 5. We already know it is 5 bags, right? We know it is 5 bags or 4.44 as the case may be. But another person might say, okay, how is it 4.44 or how is it 5 bags? Okay, I'll quickly show it now and then we are going to move forward. Take for instance, see, I just drafted something here. I have, let's say this is the concrete. 1:3:6, the concrete for the blinding. Now this is the sum of the ratio. 1 + 3 + 6 is 10. Right? Okay. Now for cement is 1/10, 1 part over the total, right? Times 1 1.54. 1.54 is called, you usually call it bulking factor or volume of dry weight. You know, this is concrete already. When you put water in concrete, what happens? It shrinks. So if I have a particular concrete, I've mixed it together without water, it is always more than when there is water, because when you add water, it shrinks, right? So that is why we have volume of dry weight. So the dry weight is 0.54 times the wet weight. That's why it's 0.54. That's why I say 1.54. All right. So that is what we have here. So 1/10 times the bulking factor or times the volume of dry weight. That's what you see here, times 1/10 times, that's why you have 0.154 or 0.15 in 2 decimal places as you want. Now, cement has a density of 1440 kg per cubic meter. If I multiply, I have 221.76. Cement come in bags, 50 kg bags. So how many bags do I have there? I divide by 50. That's why I see we have 4.44. That's why I tell you blinding, so say 5 bags if you're using 136. If you're using any mix, this is the same method you go with it. This is the same method you achieve whatever you want to achieve. I hope that part is clear. Alright, so that is why you see here, I put 5 here. Let me change this to 5. And this one also to 5. We've treated cement. Now I want to treat the sand. The same method. Sand is 136. The 3 there stands for the sand. So it is 3/10 times the volume of dry weight or the bulking factor, which is 0.46. 3/10 times 1.54. You see it here. Alright. Times 1.54. Let me increase this. Am I using, okay. Oh, go. Can I close this? No. Okay, I can delete this. What I'm avoiding. I want to increase. Can't I use this? I can. Oh, sorry. Alright, just wanted it to be bright. And system is playing tricks on me. Alright, I think this is better. Right? This is better. Okay. I normally protect my eyes so I don't increase it too much. Okay, so the same thing for the sand, right? This is 3 over 10 times 1.54. We get 0.46. Now, the density of sand is between 1.5 and 1.7. So, normally we use in between. But that in between is also too much because if you use 1.5, you're still going to get what you want, more than adequate for what you want to use to execute the works. So, for this, I used 1.600. So, this gives me, that's what you see here, right? 739.2 cubic meter. If I take it to tons, I divide by 1000. As I see, 0.74 tons. Now, granite also 0.92 at that's 6 over 10 times 1.54. That gives us 0.92 cubic meter, of course. Now, if I multiply by the density between 17 and 1900. Right. If I use 1.7, I'll still have more than adequate to do what I want to do. Right? So we'll just use in between 1.8 as an average. Right? So we have this. So I have 1.66. So if I come here for this, I've done something here before. Okay, so this is 0.740, which is this, right? Divided by 1000. Or I just go straight, I put 0.74. I will arrive at the same thing. The same thing here, 740. The same thing here, 740. Right? Okay. This is gate house. Let me go to gate house. Blinding for gate, okay, 7. Okay, 7 cubic meter. Okay, I didn't link it. Okay, let me link this instead of writing it. Let me link it. Gate house. Then I have this. Yawa. Alright. So this is the total sand in tons. This is the total cement in bags. The same thing I will do also to the granite. I say 1.66, right? 1.66. If I come here, this is 1660. We see it here. This is 1660. 660. And this is also 1660. Kaba. So this is the total granite we need. Now I already have that when I prepared this budget in the office, cement was 10,750, but we know it's no longer 10,750. It's not even, it's 10,000, right? Because I have to add VAT. The same thing for sand. Sand was 11,700, but sand is 12, between 12.5 is at 12.5 now per ton. While granite is even way more. Granite is about 25,000 now per ton. So when you prepare your own budget, you ensure you use the current prices of these items. All right, so this is what we have. I add VAT to it. Of course, let me not confuse you. These VATs are recoverable. All right, that's on that part. Recoverable in the sense that the client that gives you the job, before he pays you, he has already paid VAT. He gives you an advance. He has already paid VAT on that particular amount. So you, as you are paying your own subcontractors, you are also, where you are buying materials, you also pay VAT. But your account will work on it to recover those VAT for you. That's what we call a recoverable VAT. All right. So we are done with this phase. So I hope you understand it now, how we arrive at this. So this is times this. This is the amount. So my budget for blinding is 2.4 million. The sand for cement for blinding, the sand 418,000, and the granite 2,300,000. Now I have the next item is ready mix. Now I see the way it is. That's what I'm going to do for each and every item. I'm going to Quantity surveying. All right, ready mix. Ready mix is ready mix because I am buying it. I am buying it. So the question was the quantity of the ready mix. I only added waste to it because I am buying this. Right. The same thing. If here also, this cement, there's already waste because it's 4.44 already, we made it 5. If I want to add waste here, I will add waste also. If I want to add waste here, I am going to add waste also. All right. Ready mix. This volume is this volume. This is this. This is here. Grade 25. This is what we have here. This is it here. Grade 25. If I come to the ancillary building, if I have ready mix too, I pick it. If I come to the gate, if I have ready mix too, I use it. So where you have ready mix, use ready mix. Where they are in situ concrete, you use in situ concrete. So that's what we have here. I just multiply. I just added 5% waste here, 5% waste, and 5% waste. Grade 25 as at this time is 155,000. Really? And that's a hell expensive. 155,000. I added VAT to it because as I'm paying, I'm going to pay VAT also. Alright, so that's what we have. The total ready mix concrete. This is the total. Here is this. This is the amount I'm budgeting for ready mix concrete. Grade 25. The same thing applies to grade 30. This is for main building. This is for ancillary building. This is for gatehouse. So if I add everything up, I have this times the amount for grade 30 at the time, right? So that gives us for grade 25, this is this, grade 30, this is this, right? I hope we're getting it. The same thing goes for your reinforcement. If you see here, let me add waste. Now, some of these things, when you're preparing the rate, on the rate you already have waste, but this is as per what you want to execute on site. So let us do it like this. For grade 30 times 1.05 times 1.05, I just added waste. I just added waste 1.05. all right, am I good? 1.05, 1.05, 1.05. okay, let's come over to reinforcement. My total reinforcement for the main building is this. You see the importance of you having a quantity schedule or a quantity summary. It becomes easy to pick. Or if you're the one that wants to put your quantity here for everybody to see, great. Let's go. All right, reinforcement. This is total reinforcement in tons. This is total for ancillary building. This is for the main building. Do I have waste? Let's add waste. Let's say we add 1.1 because of cutting waste. Here also 1.1. But in preparing this, the rate, you already have waste. But this is as per your own execution, 1.1. So this is what we have for the reinforcement as a budget. And of course, this is the whole reinforcement we have for that particular project. Then binding wire. Binding wire is very interesting. Now, the binding wire for every 1 ton, each roll of binding wire goes for 2 tons. Each roll of binding wire covers 2 tons. All right. Okay. So if you come here, basically we have, this is 2.4. So basically we are going to have here divided by 2. All right, divided by 2. Give me 46.2 because 1 row is to 2 tons. 1 row is to 2 tons. So if I divide this by 2, I have this. I divide this by 2, I have this. If I divide this by 2, I have this. and this is the total. All right, as at that time binding wire is 12,800. Not parole. Parole is 26,000. Am I right? 24, 25,600. But this is with 12,800, 800, 25,600. But today was today's the 27th of August. Binding wire is about 34,000 per row. So half of it, right, is 17,000. If at 34,000, then you add your VAT to it. All right. So this is what we have. Then marine board. Marine board is your formwork. Your marine board is your general formwork, and of course we've done something on it severally. Now, what is the total formwork we have? We have the area of one formwork. A formwork comes in 1.2 times 2.4. This is the form. The area of one formwork is 2.88. So whatever I have, if I have 500 square meter, if I want to know how many I will need, it is 500 divided by 2.88. Right? How many times? By 3. So if you see what that's all I have here, this is it here, 2.88 divided by 3. This is 257. The ancillary building. This is the main building here. Formwork is 36677. 3677. Right, divided by 2.88 divided by 3 number uses. That's what is here. The same thing with here. If you go to ancillary building, you see the formwork there. Total formwork 2226. Right, divided by the area of 1, then by the number of uses. So that is what we have for the formwork. So this is the total multiplied by this. As at this time we use the formwork for 61,000 naira. So it will conveniently and convincingly cover you for 3 times, depending on the number, 3 uses, depending on the number of floors you have. If you buy the one for 25 or for 20 or 30,000, you may not be able to use it for 3 uses because it's going to get destroyed after 1 or the second usage. Now, of course, you're going to need hardwood. You're definitely going to have that. You're going to need nails also. How many hours with this video be today? I don't like doing long videos like this. Oh God. All right, let's see. Okay, and this is I will need hardwood now for every, I think I made a comment here, for every one board we will need about 1.5 length of for brazing 2x4 if you're using 2x4, right? Okay, for every, and some people nowadays, some of even their column, they use acropop, 4 acropop as brazing. Then you use some wood to put them together, and then your column is standing. And then acropop also for your suspended floor, as the case may be. Okay, so what we have here is this. For every one board, as for every 2.88 square meter, I'll need about 1.5 length. So I already have them here, which is this. So just multiply by 1.5. I need 638 number for brazing here. For this quantity here, I times 1.5 times 1.5. So I have this total here. Multiply by the amount. I have this as the budget. For nail also, nail for every 1 square meter, we need about 0.075 kg weight of nail for one square meter. And here I have the total square meter already. The total square meter already. I have it, which is what I have here, times 0.075. The same total square meter multiplied by 0.075. Total square meter multiplied by 0.05. This is 3677. That's total square meter of the formwork 3677. The total square meter of the formwork for the ancillary building and then for the gatehouse, Kobankaba. Alright, that is what we have. Now another thing where most times I don't put quantities here is because we have 3 buildings. 1, 2, 3. Which of the quantity will I put? Will I put for main building, townhouse, and this separate? Will I use comma to separate them? If it's one building, it's easier to put the quantity. But when you have several buildings, it doesn't become that easy also to do that. Alright, so that is that about formwork. Now let's go to block wall. Block wall. Now 2 to 5 mm block wall, then it's sold at 1,200 per block. If I add VAT to it, that is the amount. Now total number of total square area. We want to know the number of block now. With the number of block, a piece of block. Total block 225 is 1340 square meter. That's the quantity. For this it is this, for this it is this. The same thing goes for ancillary building and then gatehouse. Okay, now if we have 1340, if I multiply by 10, because 1 square meter is 10 blocks, that gives me 13,400. The same thing here for ancillary building, multiply by 10. The same thing for gatehouse, I multiply by 10. That gives me the total quantity of block work, 2 to 5. This is the budget. Now for the cement, now practically for each a bag of cement, a 50 kg bag of cement will lay conveniently 50 blocks. That is 5 square meter. Right. So if you come here, this is it here. Total number of blocks is this. Divided by 50, you will get the total number of bags of cement. That's what happened here. Total blocks is this, divided by 50 blocks, which is 5 square meter. I have the total bag of cement. The same thing here. The same thing here. This is the total. Do we understand? A bag of cement will leave 50 blocks. Conveniently set now. 50 blocks, which is 5 square meter. So that is why I just total number here divided by 50 blocks. I have the total, the bag of cement, the bag of cement, the bag of cement here. All right. If we for the sand to be used now, a 5-ton truck, I'll do that, and I'll do the normal 5-ton truck will lay 60 blocks. A 5-ton truck, that's your normal 5-ton, will lay 60 blocks, 60 square meter. That is 600 blocks. Or if the mix is 1 is to 4 or 1 is to 6, depending on whatever the mix is. One is to 4, but I think 1 is to 6 majorly. All right. If I want to find the cement, I can do it just the same way we did the one we did at the top. Right now, the sand, that means I will have this sand will be 6/7. Let me see, 6/7, right, times 1.54 times density of sand. We are using 1/600, right? Okay, divided by 1000. here they're saying 2.11 1600, right? Yeah, is 6/7. 2.11 tons. 2.11 tons. And on site, by site, we are using 60 blocks, 60 square meter. That's 5 tons, we lay 60 square meter. 5 tons, we lay 60 square meter. Okay, let me apply it. Let me apply it and see. I have this guy here. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, this is it here. All right. Sand. This is 2.11 times 268. Is that so? Hold on. Okay. Well, you just principle for concrete here. Okay. Now, practically, one bag. Let me use this. We'll set 5 tons of sand. We've set 60 square meter. That's the principle I use here. This is practical as per used on sites. So this is what I have here, right? So this is total square area on 60 times 5. So that's why we have where are you? 1120. The same thing here. Total area divided by 60 times 5. 5 is the tons. 5 tons will give us, we'll set 60 square meter. X tons will give us put it together. Okay, X tons will give us what is this one? 1340 square meter. All right, so that is what we have here. So 60x is equal to 1340 times 5. Kaba. So x divided by 60. That is what you see here. The same thing here. The same thing here. So this is the total sand. Alright, so basically all we're doing here is this is site analytics. 60 square meter will go for 5, will require 5 tons of sand. Alright, so let's keep it like that. That other was giving 2.11. That would have been way higher for me to use 2.11 for each square meter for just 10 blocks. Come on, man. All right, so the same thing goes for 50 mm 150 mm block. I won't talk about the same thing goes for 150 mm. Same thing goes for 100 mm, right? Same thing go for these screen walls to treat them as block work. The same thing goes. Now, filling sand is filling sand, like filling to make up level, imported sand. I don't know if this is let's come over here. Did I pick it from? Okay, I just wrote it there. Okay, I didn't pick it. Okay, filling sand. Stop confusing me, man. The total volume is 234 cubic meter. 234 cubic meter. But then you apply the compaction factor. You know why? It's because by the time you fill, you don't just fill and leave. You bring roller, you compact. You fill again, you compact. So if the volume here is, the total volume is 234, if I compact, because I have to compact, so the compaction factor is 1.8 for sharp sand. No, between 1.8 and 2, between 1.8 and 2. So if you use 1.8, fine. If you use 1.9, fine. That's in between. So that is what we have here. Where are you? Filling sand. So here I even use 1.85, 234 or 1.85. Right. So the same thing goes for the ancillary bin. The same thing goes for the gatehouse. So this is the total. Filling sand is the same thing as sharp sand, right? 11.7. When you're paying, you add you pay VAT also. So that is what we have here. All right. Wall screed. Wall screed. Oh God, this thing will take me too long. Wall screed. Long videos are always very tiring. Oh God. Wall screed. All right. Now wall screed, basically we use putty. That's what we use. We use just you mix and then you apply. You don't have to buy the POP cement and then begin to mix. Just buy the complete putty, put water in it, mix it, and then you begin to use. Now a bucket covers 15 square meter. You see, I think I put it. A bucket covers 15 square, between 15 to 18 square meter. Right, another one will tell you between 18 to 13 to 18 square meter. So each 15 square meter here. That's for a bucket of it. The question is, what is the total POP wall screed? The total square according to the BOQ is 2779. I want to know how many buckets I'm going to buy. How many buckets I'm going to buy divided by 15. The same thing here for the ancillary building. We don't have it for the gatehouse. This is the total. Right. As at then, 25,500. That's I think that's the current price. 25,500 for the bucket of putty. All right. Okay. Then which one have I not talked about? Screed. Now this is screeding here. Now screeding, I mean floor screed. Now generally for screeding it is 4 bags. We use 4 bags per cubic meter. 4 bags per cubic meter. So if you come here, screed, this is it here, right? This is it here. This is floor screed. Now this is it. It is 11. This is what is it? C19 times 0.05. That's 50 mm. I've converted it to cubic. It is 210 square meter. Let me see, 210. Let me confirm it. Times 0.05. Yeah, that is it. This is it. This is for staircase. This is for floor. Total in cubic meter is this. That is what I transfer to my budget. Screed. This is what I have here. Right? So for each cubic meter I have 4 bags. So multiply by 4. Whatever I have there, multiply by 4. The same thing here, by 4. Right? So that's how we have the total of this for the floor screed. For the sand, I use this volume of sand for mixing of concrete. Right? So if we use the same thing, let's call it 740. That's what we used that time. Volume of sand, where we mixed our concrete. The same volume of sand. All right, so that is what we are going to have. Then for tiles, God, this thing is still plenty. For tiles, all right, so basically your tile is your tile. You have the total, you have the square area of whatever you want to tile. For the main building, we have 785 square meter of Italian tiles. For ancillary building, we don't have for the gatehouse. So this is the total. All right, this is the price of tile as at when this was done. So this is the total budget for the tile. The tile for the materials. Sorry, this is materials. This is material section, right? For the civil works, and then you have the labor section, and then you have the specialist work. Tiles. All right, I'll just treat only one tile, and I'll move forward. Now, this is it. You have for every tile you require for fixing of a tile, you need a tile. For tiles generally, you need tile gum, and you need to grout. Tiles itself, the tile gum, and then the grouting. For every tile, you need 0.75 kg of tiles gum, right? For per square meter, 0.75 kg per square meter. That is, this is according to executed on site. Take note. All right, this is what is executed on site. Tiles gum with 0.75 for each square meter. Right, 0.75 times this, I have that 0.75 times this gives me the tiles gum I am going to buy. This is the total. For grouting, we will need same thing for grouting. So for grouting, every 5 kg covers 15 square meter, right? So grouting every 5 kg covers 15 square meter. So if I want to know what I am going to use, this is what's the total square area here? This is this divided by God of Israel, divided by 15. So I'll be needing 52 bags of 5 kgs. The same thing here. I can bring this here. Right. So this is this for the grouting. All right. Okay. The same thing goes for ceramic wall tiles. I'm not treating that. The same thing goes for wall tiles. The same thing. You have the tiles, you have the grouting, and then you have the tiles gum, and then you have the grouting also. Earthwork support. Earthwork support is earthwork support. Just like the way you have your formwork. The same thing is in square area, and the boards come in the same thing 1.2 by 2.4, and then you brace. That's why I just put it here. This is square area, this is a square. But of course, another thing is depending on what you're working on. Most times you may not have need for a deep earthwork support. Maybe just something out to retain the earth. And then we have anti-termite. Anti-termite, that is Deldrex, right? For anti-termite, it covers is it a drum or a bucket? For anti-termite, a drum or bucket. 26 square meter. We need about, for anti-termite, 5 to 8 liters. No, 7.5 to 8 liters for 26 square meter. Let's say 8 liters for every, this is not 57, this is 7.5, right? To 8 liters for 26 square meters. So let's say we need 8 liters. 8 liters. Right? 1 liter, we don't know. Let's do normal mass, which is this. Right, so this is 26 divided by 8. So that 1 liter will cover 3.25 square meter. Whatever I have here divided by 3.25. Let me bring it here. Divided by 3.25. But again, I need 140 liters. Again, divided by 3.25. Again, only in rare situations we do this, right? We don't do it often. You see the total. We don't do it often. Nobody do. Let me say nobody do. People do it, but often it is not necessary. Now these are C+ waterproofing. These are specialist waterproofing. This is from advanced concrete. We got from advanced concrete. This is bituminous paint or DPM. And if we do, let me see this first. This is just the price for it, but the data sheet will tell the coverage area for this C+ waterproof membrane. The data sheet will tell for it because this price is collected from advanced concrete. So they give you data sheet that has the coverage area, then it can be applied. For the same thing for crystal waterproofing, the same thing for this 302 polymer cementitious. So you get the coverage area and then you apply. For either the bituminous paint, or let's say we are working on DPM. That's DPM. That's your waterproof membrane. That's your maybe your 1000 gauge waterproofing. A row covers about, I think a row is 26 square meter, covers about I've forgotten that detail. I think I have the detail now. For damp-proof membrane, this item here, I think a roll is 100 square meter. That is, it is 4 by 25 meters, right? 4 by 25 meters. So of course, if you use 100 square meter, you can tell how many rows you are going to need given any particular figure. This is 307 square meters divided by 100. It tells you how many rows you are going to need. This will tell you how many rows you are going to need and how many rows you are going to need. But this, at the end of the day, you have maybe 2 rows, here 3 rows, here 2 rows, here 2 rows. Right? So basically, that's what you have. But what we have here, this is the price per square meter applied, right? So that's why you just see them. We applied the same price here per square meter for this particular case. But if you want to buy in rolls, a roll comes in 100 square meter. I think it's about 15,000 per roll. I think I got that information from my procurement manager at the time. Okay, but that aside, that was a very minute item in the budget. Okay, then I said all these are especially from the data sheet. You are able to arrive at the coverage area. So once you know the coverage area, you know what you are going to break it down into. I've not wasted time, but I've expended too much time in trying to explain that. Now these are the labor. This is labor aspect. You need to include every material in your bill of quantity. You must ensure that you didn't miss out any single item. No single item must be omitted in the budget. The reason is because If you meet the item and this document has already gone to the finance, how do you go and tell them that we missed something? They will see you as one unprofessional being. So every item must be included. It is better it is included and is either overpriced or underpriced than it is not included. I hope we get it. So this is the labor part. Site clearance, excavation, cutaway, concrete, carpentry. For every one of them, every one of them, you have to include their labor, the labor part of each and every one of them. The floor tiling, the dell jacks, and everything. So these are the labor item. For main building, for townhouse, for service building, this is the total. And then you know what it is. So this, in this case here, this is our budget for material. You can imagine. This is the budget here for labor. Now this is the specialist work. Okay, I don't have many. Thank God. This is the specialist work that I have in this particular bill of quantities. Alright, I have the roof covering. I have for the lightweight steel carcass. I have for aluminium works. I have for MEP works. That is what you see there. This is the rate. Let me put this like this. Let me do this also like that. Okay. Confusion. Okay. So this is what we have. This is total square meter. If I saw, this is for main building. This is I said townhouse. Yeah, ancillary building. This is also for main building, ancillary building. So this is what we have for each of them. Multiply by this, multiply by this. That gives me, this is the total. This is lightweight steel. Now you see that I didn't break this one down the way I broke the others down, because I'm giving it to a specialist to execute for me. If I was not giving it to a specialist, it's a different scenario. Then I need to know what is the area of one sheet. What is the area of one sheet? I think 0.9 meter by 12 meters. That is one sheet. Then you get the area divided by the total number of areas. You know the amount of sheets. Then you allow for lapping also. And then waste. Konjiko. That is that. And for this steel now, I'm using my hand to point. So for this, what I said is, if I want to find, this is 0.9, let's say long span by 12 meter. This is the area of why you know go. How come 0.9 times 12 is this? I have a total area of 300 here. 300 divided by this is 2.77. If I add 10% for lapping times 10% for lapping, 5% waste, 1.15. This is this times 1.15. That's 15% for lapping and waste. I have 31 number pieces. Now that is if I want to break it down. But now I'm giving it to a specialist contractor to do for me. I already got his price. Right. So this is what I'll just put it there in the budget. As a specialist work. The same thing here for aluminium work, specialist work, MEP work, specialist. So the total specialist work is this 1.2 billion. Total labor is this, total material is this. All these I will carry over to my budget summary. And this is my budget summary here. Alright, now this is the preliminaries. I've explained how to calculate preliminaries. I'm not explaining it again. Please refer to the video for how to calculate preliminary items. This is the material here. This is labor here. And this is the specialist works. Right. So this is what we have. And contingency. Right. You know, substructural works are usually provisional. So you allow for contingency, whatever amount you want to allow for contingency. This is the total, right? Then you add VAT, and then withholding tax. Now see this VAT. That's the contract VAT. That's the contract VAT you're adding. Alright, then withholding tax, because definitely you're going to pay withholding tax, and it's not you that will pay, it's the client that will pay for you. Right? I said it's not you that will pay. The client will deduct withholding tax and then pay you whatever is due. Then he will give you the certificate that he has paid for the withholding tax. So this is my total budget. Now this is the contract value. If I'm making any profit at all, this is my profit. The contract minus the total budget. So this is my profit. I don't know if things go as planned, all things being equal. All things being equal, this is my profit, or this is the company's profit on this particular project. All things being equal. All right. Oh, it's been a very long time. I don't know how many hours this video will be now. So this is basically how you prepare your budget. Preliminaries, then your material, your labor, then your specialist work. So I've told us how you break down the bill of quantity. You have the civil part, you have the specialist part. Civil are your general civil, especially the one you give to contractors to do for you. Alright, and we'll see how we enter them into the budget at the end of the day. I've thought about preliminaries before, kindly refer to it. So, and there are other persons that have other ways, other methods with which they calculate their break down their material and their labor, and they apply price to it, whichever way you deem fit best. Prepare your budget, follow format, and then arrive at your figure at the end of the day. As very, very important. So this is basically how you prepare construction budget. It is not a simple process. Even from me teaching itself, you know it's not a simple process, because I'm already tired. It is long. It is long. So it takes time. So it requires patience for you to do it. It requires patience for you to do it. Most major companies, they have their formats. They have their format. So if you're there, you just look for the form, you ask them, and then if they don't have it, you have to create yours. I hope you get it. You have to create yours. This is the method you go about it. But this is not the first time you're hearing about material. You know how to prepare material and labor. Some of us even have templates for material and labor. But by the time you get to these companies, your material and labor does not tally what they have, so you have to work with what they have. I have material and labor schedule, but I don't use it when I'm working for a company. I have to use what the company has, and then add and remove, and add and remove whatever I am doing. I hope we get it. Alright, I hope we'll be able to learn a thing or two from this, and then you refer to other videos also. Refer to the video on how to prepare markup sheets. Refer to the video on how to price preliminary items. Very, very important. And so this is where we are rather. Alright, I hope you've been able to learn a thing or two from this particular tutorial. I was thinking I'll do it again. This video is too long. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. Thank you. This is Chaka Quantics. I'll see you in the next video. Do what to like, subscribe, comment. If you have further questions, please do well to put it in the comment section. This document is available if you need it as a guide to what you want to do, or as a guide in addition to what you already have. It is documents available. Just hit me. You can also join our WhatsApp channel. Amazing WhatsApp channel. The best, the very best. Just if you want to join and you're not in already, just hit me in the comment section. You get the link, and then you join the WhatsApp channel. Thank you very much. It is Chaka Quantics. Once again, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.